Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it is lovely to see you today. In this video we're going to be talking about my favourite comfort YouTubers to watch when I just want to be cosy in the horrible winter months. So grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. So it is really cold here in the UK at the moment, and I'm finding myself more and more finding it hard to get going in the morning. I just want to stay cosy in my pyjamas watching YouTube and cuddling my dog. I don't want to get anything done. I am not a big fan of this time of year. I just wrote a blog post all about how I'm just avoiding Christmas and everything to do with it this year. I'm just not in the mood. And so I thought I'd come and talk about the YouTubers that make me feel comforted and make me feel cozy and safe. I think that's so important and so needed in the world, and maybe you'll find some new people to watch and follow. I really hope so. Some of these are quite big YouTubers, so you might have heard of them before, but either way, I just want to give them all a big hug and a warm, cosy internet shout out. So if you think you'll enjoy content like this, I have done videos like this before, so I'll leave links to my favourites playlist so you can watch them all and find new YouTubers. But before we get to it today, don't forget, if you are new here, you can click the subscribe button to become part of the butterfly family. We would absolutely love to have you here, so don't forget to leave me a cheeky like and a comment, and check out my Ko-fi if you have not yet and you enjoy my content and would like to leave me a little tip to help me with running the channel and my blog. But let's get to it, shall we? So my number one favourite comfort cozy channel is actually two channels. They're a mother and daughter team called the Kit and Caboodlers, and they do mudlarking, and their two channels are called the Miniature World of Kit and Caboodlers, and their other channel is Mudlarking with Kit and Caboodlers. So basically mudlarking is people who go to the beach, or they go to like old Victorian bottle dumps and things like that, beaches, rivers and things like that, and they look on the ground and find bits of history. So they'll find like old pieces of jewellery from Victorian times, or they might find old bits of dolls that have been broken and thrown away. They find so much amazing stuff, and sometimes they find things that are really rare and really hard to find, and things that you've never even heard of. I love mudlarking. Me and my mom are slightly obsessed with it. We'll watch it all afternoon. We're just so happy to just sit and watch mudlarking, and actually she's watching Mudlarking with Kit and Caboodlers as I'm recording this with you right now. She absolutely loves this mother and daughter pair, and the two of them go on these little adventures together. They also sometimes take their little brother along, and I just love these two so much. They have such an innocence to them. They get so excited when they find like little beads and pieces of dolls, and then they do a lot of crafting. They do a lot of doll content, so if you like dolls' houses, definitely check out the Miniature World of Kit and Caboodlers. I love any kind of miniatures or dollhouse stuff, not for kids, like adult stuff. I absolutely love that sort of content, and so I'm really happy to just sit and watch somebody creating a miniature scale of whatever they're creating. So I definitely want to say that if you haven't tried curling up watching somebody with the sounds of nature all around them in the middle of a forest or on the beach or by a river, and just watching gentle content like that is so relaxing and cozy. I just love these two so much. They are so sweet together. They just have a lovely friendship between them, and they remind me very much of me and my mom. If my mom was more well, I know that she'd be more up for being on the channel with me, but she is somebody who sits and sews with me. She's the person who talks me through sewing. So while I'm sewing here on the channel, it's my mom in the background telling me how to do everything and teaching me. So it very much reminds me of that. They do go into the history of some things, and they do some research, but they're not like heavily research based. It's more just the joy of seeing them finding things, and then at the end of the video they talk about their favourite finds. And then on their miniatures channel, it's just crafting and dollhouse content, vintage dolls houses. I just love it. I just love it. Next up, we have another mudlarking channel. Let's start again. Next up, we have another mudlarking channel, and this is the Northern Mudlarks. Again, it's a mother and daughter team. I think they're about the same age as the Kit and Caboodlers, but this channel is much more gentle. The two of them have a much more gentle aura to them than the first two, who are much more excitable and think everything's marvellously wonderful, which I love because I'm more like that. But I love the Northern Mudlarks because, again, they have this beautiful friendship between the two of them. They go on these gorgeous adventures in Scotland and the north of England, but they also bring the history with it. So they will find something and they'll research the company that made that bottle or the company that they find, and they will talk about the history of that company when they went in and out of business. They'll even go through like ancestry to find the names of people if they find dog tags and things like that. It's just really beautiful content. They do a lot of scene work where it's really quiet with beautiful song work in the background and the sound of nature around them. Now, I am somebody who loves nature. If I was well, I would be tromping through forests nearly every day, going for long walks. That was my life before I got sick. I loved going for long walks. I always have my whole life. And so it's very difficult for me now, being disabled, not being able to go out so much. So mudlarking channels give me the ability to see parts of the country that I probably will never see in person. And they're very relaxing. Forest bathing has been proven to be beneficial for our mental health. And so if you're not able to go out into the forest, you can kind of get that experience and get the sound of it through watching mudlarking and that sort of thing. So definitely, if you are interested in that kind of thing, check out the Northern Mudlarks or the Kit and Caboodlers. Links to everybody will be down below. Next up, we have an Urbex channel. Now, Urbex is Urban I cannot speak today. Brain fog, leave me alone. The next channel is an urban exploration channel, and they are people who basically break and enter places that have been abandoned. So they will break and enter into, and they don't destroy anything, they're just showing you these amazing buildings like old asylums, hospitals. They do a lot of like prisons and amazing places that you never get to see. These structures that are just left to rot in the middle of nowhere. And I always think to myself, oh, people could be living here. You could repurpose all this stuff, but it's just left there. And it's amazing to see what we as humans just discard and leave behind, like old computers. They've even found like whole medical rooms with like all the patient records, x-rays out with the names on, everything. It's insane. They've even found like medications and all sorts of things, but I just love watching it. I love getting to experience urban exploration, which is something that I would always be too scared to do, always, without fail, be too scared to do. Urbex is a type of YouTube that I do enjoy. I'm not saying it's okay to break and enter, but if you are just recording it for prosperity, go for it. They don't take anything from these places. They don't destroy anything. They don't break in as in breaking things. There's always like ways in without destroying things. They don't do graffiti. They just are there to show what happens to our buildings when we just leave them to rot. You know, roofs fall in, mould up the walls. Some of these buildings are so incredibly beautiful that I think to myself, if it was in England, they would be listed buildings, but they're just left to decay. It's just very interesting to see what we leave behind, and their channel is so relaxing. They have a lot of beautiful photography, a lot of sweeping shots, funny moments as well between the friends. but they're just young lads who go to places and do incredible they're like films. They're very cinematic. They go into the history of the buildings as well, and I love history. I love learning about the areas that are around me and the places that people can go to. And again, I'm disabled. I don't make any money from my YouTube channel. I don't make any money at all. I'm on disability benefits. I'm never going to be able to go to America and go and look around any of these places. But again, I'm getting to see parts of the world that I don't normally get to see, and I absolutely love that. So the proper people, they're really, really lovely young lads, and their channel is just, it's like watching a movie. A lot of them is like, if you speak English, Beverley, it helps. A lot of their videos are very much reminiscent of zombie movies and apocalypse movies, and I grew up watching all of those, and I love zombie films. So when I see their stuff, I'm like, oh, this is just perfection. I love it. Next up, I have an English channel, and this is one of my favourite channels. One of the first channels that I actually subscribed to here on the internet, I think about 8 or 9 years ago now, and that is Cherry Wallis. Cherry originally started out just doing Harry Potter content, but since everything with J.K. Rowling, she stepped away from that a little bit. She still does Harry Potter and magical content, don't get me wrong, and I'm very pleased about that, because I believe that world is bigger than that one person. It's bigger than that, and I don't walk away from things just that I love just because of one problematic person. That's just me. If you don't agree with me, that's okay. We can all still live in this world. But what I love about Cherry is she's now kind of stepped into doing vlogs, days out. She lives on her own in a house, and she does a lot of decorating for Christmas and come with me shopping kind of content, which I really enjoy, because again, I can't travel very often. I can't leave my house very much. I'm kind of trapped here most of the time. We probably leave the house maybe, well, my husband leaves the house quite a lot, but I leave the house maybe once or twice a month. And so for me to do that sort of thing is very difficult. She also does a lot of unboxing videos. So she has a lot of subscription boxes that she works with. And again, I don't have the extra money to get subscription boxes. So I love watching her unbox things. She's also started to creep into real life witchcraft, and as you all know, on a Monday here on the channel, I do talk about witchcraft. I am a practicing witch. And so to see somebody stepping into who they are is just amazing, and it's incredible to see where she was when I first started watching her channel and where she is now. Her videos are just so sweet, and they can be a little bit chaotic, but I like that in a person. She's amazing. I look at her and I'm just like, that's the kind of career I wish I could have, but not yet. We'll get there. That's what I keep telling myself. That is everybody for now. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments, because I can do more of this sort of content over the Christmas period. It is very hard for me this time of year. I don't have seasonal affective disorder, though I have struggled with that in the past. For me, it's more Christmas. Christmas is very triggering for me, and it's kind of everywhere. So here on the channel, I don't tend to do like gift recommendations. I don't tend to talk about Christmas much, because I know it can be a very difficult time for so many of us. And so if you would like me to talk more about the comfort, things that help me get through, like colouring in, adult colouring books, mwah, perfection. But yeah, I really enjoyed talking about this. These are all the people that I really aspire to be like, I look up to in my own journey as a YouTuber. If you've been here from the beginning when I was doing like geeky content, you can probably tell that my content has changed a lot. And it's mainly because of the people I look up to. So I do have other videos talking about my favourite YouTubers, so if you're interested in who inspires me, definitely go and check out the description, where I'll have a link to a playlist for you to watch. Don't forget, while you're down there, leave me a cheeky little like as well, so I know that you enjoyed this, and so will YouTube. and hopefully I can keep on growing this channel. Oh yeah, baby. And last but certainly not least, if you like my content and you like my face, don't forget to head down below, click that subscribe button, ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays. My health permitting, I always do my very best to be here with you every week, twice a week. Take care everyone, have a wonderful, magical, happy, cozy week. Don't forget to check out the description for everybody's links, and I will see you next time. Bye.